everybody, welcome back to the channel. And you know what? A while back I did this video called You Win, and basically what I did was I talked about how Valaverse was kind of pushing Hasbro in a way with their G.I. Joe Classified series to sort of make better weapons, better figures, because Valaverse seemed like they were coming on strong and sort of challenging the norm, because Hasbro was kind of like pushing out these figures. We got the first couple of waves of G.I. Joe Classified, but they seriously began to improve. And now it seems like when we get G.I. Joe Classified series figures announced, it's kind of like, man, I don't want to pass them up because I think they're really cool. And in the same respect, I got to give Valaverse some props because, you know, I have been sort of impressed with this new series that they're coming out with. There are definitely a couple of figures that I want to get from them, and I definitely have quite a few Valaverse Action Force figures. So what I want to talk about now is kind of update the idea of, are we still winning? So the way I think about it is it's kind of been the year of vehicles almost. So we had that Engine of Vengeance that came out or tried to come out as part of a Marvel Legends HasLab and didn't do very well. And what everybody was upset about was the price point, $350 for a car. Now the thing is, the challenge seemed like it went out. We had this Odd Frog Toys was going to make like their vehicle, and I think that's still in production. But Ramen Toy basically got out of the gate with their Ramen Racer, and they had an incredibly low early bird price on that, and they even did a Tiger Orange one for fans of Dukes of Hazzard so they could make their own generally, let's say. Anyway, so you got like an orange Challenger or Charger out there, and you got the Ramen Racer in the black, which is really cool, and it has all those fiery additions to it, and it had a fantastic price point. Now we've also seen from Ramen Toy that they got a tank coming out, not just one tank, but a series of tanks. They had a special one at Joe Fest, which is going to be Desert, and then they have a variety of other ones that are coming out, the Hunter, and then the Bridge Layer accessories. It's looking really cool. And not only that, it's like they got a van, a basic black van, a basic white van. They got a special van for a team that might be hiding in the Los Angeles underground. I don't want to call it by what it is, but I think if you look at the picture, you got a pretty good idea. And the early bird price on that is fantastic. Nowhere near $350 what that original Engine of Vengeance was up for. So then, you know, over the course of the year, we also got some releases, and we got the Vamp, and we got the Stinger from G.I. Joe, which is pretty cool because it comes with the figure, came with like rocket launchers. Now I have this accessory from a company called Gridiron Studios Props attached to mine. Now that's the other thing that I wanted to kind of mention with this You're Winning. So not only do you get a base vehicle from like Hasbro, but then you could go to a third-party seller who's making upgrades for your stuff. These tires and rims came from Gridiron Studios, along with this thing called the Ground Pounder, which has extra room for more soldiers and gives you an alternate piece to put on all kinds of tactical weapons. Then, on top of that, Valaverse, not to be outdone for their Action Force line, released the Vanguard. Now this seats 4 up front, has room for somebody in the back, and has that gunner position up on top with this turret, which is actually pretty cool. So it has 4 seats, and I gotta tell you, this one is movable. It moves forward and backwards so you can get a bigger figure behind the wheel. So we had the Hiss tank that came out. That was a HasLab. That was a little bit pricey. But I gotta tell you, this was about, you know, $100. This one was just over that because I was able to get this one on sale right from their store when they were having a holiday sale, and it was like 25% off or something like that. So yeah, I would say we probably still are winning. Then you got companies like Fresh Monkey Fiction that are coming out with a whole bunch of new figures that have like kind of a military style look to them, but kind of monster-ish, right? And then you got a Colombian company that's also done some figures that are in that military style. And you know what? I think the competition out there is great. So a lot of companies are popping up starting to put out figures, and so you have a lot of choices. Now, I recently got this one. This is a Jill Valentine figure. This is from Bro Toys, and you know what? I gotta say, the figure itself is actually really cool. Now, it doesn't super scale well with the other 6-inch figures, but I think because it's a female character and being a little bit smaller, I don't think is that much of a big deal. Now, she's much smaller than some of the female G.I. Joe figures, but I still think it fits in there. And then we get stuff like this, another thing from Ramen Toy. So you got some more military figures, and these are pilots. Can you imagine that? Check this out. This is a pilot helmet with a retractable visor and breathing piece right here. He's in full flight gear, and these pants, these G pants, come off. And this is actually really cool. So they're actually getting into the fray and adding more to your ability to win across the board when you're looking at action figures. Now, the cool thing is that just ups the stakes, because check this out. Now you got Hasbro putting out, for the 60th anniversary of G.I. Joe, this guy right here, the action pilot Halo Trooper. And look at that. He comes with a parachute. That is really cool. And I'm telling you, so basically, as an update to this, yeah, we're still winning. But on top of that, though, I gotta say this. We might be winning when it comes to everything that's available to us. But are we like losing a little bit too? Because, man, in the last year, I just feel like Hasbro, speaking of Hasbro, has just decided to like flood the market with stuff. And it's like one figure after another. And I honestly, even though they look fantastic, I can't keep up, right? So my pocketbook cannot keep up with the amount of figures that they're putting out. So yeah, I feel like in a way, even though I'm winning, I'm going to lose, because I'm not going to be able to get a couple of the figures that I want. Because the thing is, everybody's putting out such great stuff that I now have to pick and choose and decide what's best for me and my collection. And sometimes that might be not getting a figure right away and hoping that I can pick it up at a discount store for much, much less. But anyways, I think overall, we are winning. Look at these two fantastic vehicles sitting on my counter. I never would have expected to have two completely different types of vehicles, let alone two vehicles, a HISS tank, you know, for my 1/12 scale action figures. I think this is cool. And anyways, if you're into collecting like me and you're into G.I. Joe, or even, you know, your Marvel stuff, you could get that Ramen Racer and use that for your Ghost Rider car or something like that. You could get the van and turn it into your Punisher van. That is really kind of cool. And anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you happy with the state of collecting? Do you think things are coming out too quickly and too heavy? Like, is there too much stuff saturating the market? Are you happy with all of the different options that you can have? Anyway, so thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thanks for supporting my channel, everybody. I do appreciate that, and I appreciate you. And I hope you like some of the stuff that I'm showing off, or some of the things that I might have to say about collecting, because I do enjoy the hobby of collecting action figures. And I'm super excited to see what we're going to have in the coming years. Have a fantastic day, everyone.